Hello everyone, I'm Josh Coates. I'm a theatre maker who works with Powder Keg and also creates solo work. I've been asked to share a video with you based on some of the questions that you've asked. I'm not going to go through all of them because some of them may not be relevant to the work that I make, and I probably won't be the best person to answer them. My sort of history, I graduated in 2013 from Lancaster. I set up a theatre company called Powder Keg, who have done a lot of work in Manchester. We've toured nationally and won a few awards, which is very lovely. Yeah, and I do some directing and some other sort of theatre or sort of large-scale art projects alongside it. Um, yeah, so what kind of training or experience did you have that made it possible for you to break into this career? I think going to university and doing a theatre degree, much like yourselves, taught me everything that I knew, everything that I could sort of take forward to into other. Uh, oh bloody hell! It's a great way to start, Josh. Um, so I went to university, did a theatre degree, and then I sort of kept applying for things to perform. So I would always make like little 10-minute pieces and try and take them to things like scratch nights or work in progress nights or just short form theatre nights. I did a lot of that whilst at university. And Trey probably wouldn't. I don't know if she would be sort of agree with this, but I did a lot of things during university because I kind of like gave up on my degree a little bit because at the time I really wanted to focus making solo work, and the degree that I was on was very much like, don't do that, you have to do this. And so I started doing that and kind of put my degree to one side and got an okay grade. But I was doing lots and, meeting a lot of people in the industry by going and doing these small scratch nights. Um, what was the process for you in terms of getting your current job? The arts and theatre is a really bizarre one because it's probably one of the only jobs where you sort of like declare yourself as it and then it comes true almost. So like, you don't just go, I am a plumber, and you automatically start getting plumbing jobs whilst without any training. Whilst in theatre you can kind of go like, I am an artist, and lo and behold you're an artist. I think process was just applying for things and working hard. Yeah. Do you know of any opportunities for young people or recent graduates coming up? Um, Not in particular at the moment because everything is a bit odd. But the things I would do to keep a lookout for to kind of sign up to that has lots of opportunities. The Arts Jobs weekly newsletter, sort of, you can apply for that on the Arts apply to not even apply. You can sign up for that newsletter on their website, and the Arts Admin e-Digest, which is really, really handy. They give you, both of those give you sort of links to things to apply for that are open. Some of them are like young people and some of them are recent graduate stuff. If you are, 16 or like, I think even 16 to 21, I think for everyone who's possibly listening to this, do apply for like youth theatre stuff. Like there's some great ones in Manchester, like the Royal Exchange Young Company, Contact Young Company. They both do amazing things, and you'll learn a lot and you'll meet a lot of people. And I know there's people who I've met at Oldham who are really, really great performers that I think those theatres would really love to work with. But you just have to go to Manchester to go do it. I think Oldham Coliseum's really, really good as well for that. Um, what is your best and worst professional experience so far? My worst one was I got booked to be a comedian even though I'm not a comedian, and I died on stage because everyone was just like, when's the jokes coming? And I'm like, I can't do that, sorry, this show's about being depressed and being on job seekers. There was no jokes. So, that didn't go down too well. And best, I think, is performing to people. I think that's really, really nice. Yeah, and like with Powder Keg, we got a award called the Hodgkiss Award for the Royal Exchange, and the day we found out about that was really, really nice. What have I learned? You learn a lot because a lot of it you sort of have to learn on the job, and that's like a thing that happens. A lot of the times there's not necessarily courses for you to do, and you're not necessarily taught things at university, and that's like an okay thing that you just end up doing. So like I'd say like producing, especially like theatre producing, a lot of that I learned from just doing it and sort of like putting on an event and just being like, oh well, I need to obviously get in contact with people to invite them to this show. So I learned a lot about marketing through that way. Just I'd say like if you one way to learn is learning on the job. You can do that a lot. If you want to put on an event, just put on an event. I'm pretty sure there's some pubs in Oldham that have got like free function rooms. You can book them out and use them. Bear with me. It's pretty rainy in Manchester today, but somehow my hay fever is still beating me up. It's not that fun. I think I'll talk about the process, but sort of more about devising, just because, I think that's something that's just a bit easier for me. A lot of it sort of stems from what are the things that I want to address. Like there's two ways sort of doing it. Either go like, here's a theme that I want to explore. So let's say mental health, and I'll sort of go like, okay, what's all the things that I find interesting on it, and then sort of research that more and see what that kind of inspires. Or I go like, here's an image, what does that image say? So an example, a show called Bears that Powder Keg did. The image was a group of bears destroying a theatre, and then we started adding things to it. It's just like, oh, you could read that about climate change, you could read that about waste, you could read that about survival. So it's either you start with the theme and go and sort of like add little points off it, like it's spider's legs, and sort of go like, oh, maybe this, I could research this, research that, or start with a central image that really, really fascinates you and sort of go and dissect that to sort of see what that could be about. How do you keep getting new work? I don't know. If anyone can tell me, a lot of it is just applying for things, which is difficult. I think it's very rare that I get approached directly to do some work. A lot of it is just applying. Even with venues and stuff that I have really good relationships with, that has come from me applying for lots of jobs there. How to deal with public interactions? It's like any normal person does. No one has ever recognised me on the street, so that's okay. One of your key advice for someone wanting to work in the performance industry: have resiliency. It's tough. It's a lot of posh people are gonna, get the things above you because they're simply posh, and like their dad like happens to be the director of the National Theatre or something dumb like that. Just like, if you're resilient and if you can just sort of like keep fucking fighting, you will get somewhere. I've been doing that since I was like 20, and like I've been really having to fight for my voice to get heard and the opportunity to be on certain platforms, and I think that's doing okay. Top tips for being professional. I like that. It's a weird one because there's definitely like a conversation around like, calling out venues and sort of being like, hey, why are you doing this? I think being open and transparent, I think, is a professional thing. So don't always say yes and brown-nosed venues. You can sort of be like, no, I think what you're doing is wrong, or the process of what you're doing is wrong. That's okay, because, if they want to work with you and they're treating you like rubbish, like, tell them, because, that's bad. Top tips for getting your first job: applying for things over and over again. Not worrying about hay fever bringing you down. No. Keep applying for things. Just keep applying for things. Like, it really sucks to kind of just be there all day, like applying for stuff, but just keep doing it. I think definitely go and just do stuff as well. Like, you can apply for like the big things, but do little things that can be fun, like make a little zine or do a little performance in your house or anywhere. Like, anywhere can be a stage. I've done a lot of stuff like that in the past, and it's some stuff I've really enjoyed. Also, value your time. Like, don't just say yes for experience. Like, experience doesn't pay the bills. Like, just if you get asked to do a job, like, see if you can get paid for it. If you're going to spend like an hour of your time doing something, like what would you expect to get paid for that? It's a job. Like, the way that I sort of see this is like, I have another part-time job working at an axe throwing centre in Manchester. It's very fun, very weird, but that's a job that sits alongside my other job, which is theatre making. And, you know, if I was every so often taking a shift at the axe throwing place for free because, you know, I just wanted more experience and stuff like that, that would be stupid. I would, you know, not be able to eat. View your time, view yourself, see the value in yourself. Theatre is really fun though. You should just keep making theatre, keep making art. It's alright, it's pretty good. I think that's everything that I can sort of help with or ask. If you do have any more questions, then I'm pretty sure Trey can give you my email. I'll probably see you all again next year from the way this is going. Hope you're all well. Stay safe. Bye. I've been playing with a little plum pear thing throughout this, if anyone's interested.